Hello everyone, today's book is called The Ninth Night of Hanukkah. It's by Erica S. Pearl and illustrated by Shahar Kober. Now I'm really curious about this because Hanukkah only has 8 nights, so I'm wondering what is this ninth night about? Let's read and find out. Here we have our title pages, and what I'm seeing is a lot of moving boxes. I wonder what that role they will play in the story. Let's find out. On the first night of Hanukkah, Mom couldn't find the menorah. Special delivery, said Dad, arriving with pizza. Max and Rachel looked at each other. No menorah? No latkes? It's just for tonight, said Mom. I'm sure we'll find our Hanukkah things tomorrow. Exhausted from unpacking, the family sat down to dinner in their new apartment. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. So it looks like the family just moved, and because they just moved, they can't find all their Hanukkah things. So they're having pizza on the floor instead. On the second night, the missing menorah still hadn't turned up. Should we go to the store, asked Matt. No, we'll find it soon, said Rachel. Besides, I have an idea for tonight. Rachel made a beautiful menorah, and Max helped her decorate it. But when it came time to light the candles, Mom realized she had packed them with the menorah. Oh, so now they have a menorah but no candles. I like that she decided to make her own. Great job. Now, should we go to the store, asked Matt? Mom checked her watch and shook her head. Everything's probably closed now. Max and Rachel convinced Mom to let them ask one neighbor. They knocked on 2C, right next door, and explained the situation to Mrs. Mendez. Would these work, she asked. Maybe, said Rachel. So this box that she's giving them says birthday candles. So they're not the typical menorah candles, but they are candles. Dad lit the shamash, and Max and Rachel each used it to light a candle. Then Max and Rachel got presents. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. Looks like Rachel got a skateboard and Max got a toy car. There's their handmade menorah with a couple birthday candles on it. I think they're doing their best with what they have. Doesn't feel quite right, though. On the third night, Dad offered to make latkes. He just needed to find his lucky latke pen. As Dad searched through box after box, Max followed his nose downstairs to 1B, where he met Joe. Super. Welcome to the building, said Joe. Need anything? Let me know. Anything? Asked Max, eyeing the steaming platter. Joe happily shared. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah, so they didn't get to have their traditional Hanukkah food, but they did get something else instead. It looks like fries, which are latkes and fries are both made from potatoes, so fried in oil, so they're kind of similar. He's saying it was nice, but not quite the same. On the fourth night, Max said, let's play dreidel. One problem, no dreidel. I'm beginning to think one of our boxes got lost, said Dad. So Mom called the moving company, and Max and Rachel set out to find a dreidel. The Watson twins, who lived upstairs in 3B, didn't have one, but they did have a toy that you could spin and spin. A hula hoop. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. So now they're thinking, you know what? I think this box didn't even make it to our new apartment. So now they have to figure out where it went. Meanwhile, they're finding new creative ways to make up for the things that they usually do, like dreidel. They're doing hula hooping instead. On the fifth night, Max and Rachel figured out a way to play dreidel, which meant they needed gelt. So gelt is the gold coin, chocolate coins, that they use when you're playing dreidel. No chocolate coins, but I do have these, said Mr. Patel in 4A. These are chocolate chips. Oh, look at the little baby. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. So they don't have the traditional chocolate coins, but they do have chocolate chips. And look at, they made a new dreidel. out of an umbrella and a piece of cardboard so that they could spin it. They are so creative. On the sixth night, Rachel wanted to have a Hanukkah sing-along, but Mom's guitar hadn't arrived yet. Gigi has one, shouted the Watson twins, running up to 5C. It turned out they were almost right. Mom taught Gigi the chords to Rock of Ages, and everyone sang. It was nice, but it didn't feel quite like Hanukkah. So this is like a little miniature guitar called a ukulele. They sound similar, but not quite the same. On the seventh night, Max and Rachel discovered they were missing something else. How do you wrap a present without wrapping paper? On the way outside, they saw Dr. Lee reading in the library. When they asked him where to buy wrapping paper, he handed them the comics. "Try using these," suggested Dr. Lee, and so they did. It was nice, but it still didn't feel quite like Hanukkah, so instead of wrapping paper, they used the colorful comic newspaper to wrap the presents in, which I think is a great use of materials. On the eighth night, Max realized what their Hanukkah needed: jelly donuts. It took knocking on several doors, but finally Max got his jelly from the twins' mom and 3B, just not in donut form. "That was nice," said Rachel as they walked downstairs. Max took a big bite and finished her thought. So looks like they're eating jelly sandwiches, and they're saying, "Quite like Hanukkah." So their mouth is full, so they aren't. He's trying to say it doesn't feel quite like Hanukkah, but his mouth is full. It's coming out mumble jumbled. So no jelly donuts, but jelly sandwiches. The next morning, there was a knock at the door. Special delivery. Only this time it wasn't Dad or pizza, and it wasn't the long-lost box. "Let's have a Hanukkah sing-along," suggested Mom. So finally, the guitar showed up. So she said, "Let's have a Hanukkah sing-along." But last night was the 8th night, Rachel reminded her. It won't be Hanukkah anymore. Maybe it should be, said Max, pointing. 9 candles, 9 nights. Rachel's eye lit up and she whispered to Max. Max whispered back, and together they developed a plan. Oh, what do you think their plan might be? With a box of candles and a box of crayons, they set into motion. That evening, Max and Rachel waited and waited. "Maybe this isn't going to work," said Max. "It'll work," said Rachel, sounding more confident than she felt. So what could they have done with all these things they're making and going door to door? Just then there was a knock at the door, and another, and another. Max and Rachel thanked them all for coming. Then they explained the reason for their Shamash night celebration. "For 8 nights of Hanukkah, the Shamash helps light all the other candles," said Max. "Like you all helped us," said Rachel. "So we wanted to say thanks to the Shamash and to you." Just then a voice called out from the back of the line of guests, "Special delivery." So they invited all the neighbors who had offered something to make their Hanukkah special and said, "You are like the Shamash. You are like helpers. And we want to give you thanks." And now they have a new special delivery coming. What could it be? "The missing box," said Mom. "Now that's what I call a miracle," said Dad. In the box, Max and Rachel found their family menorah, Hanukkah candles, Dad's lucky latke pan, dreidels, gelt, wrapping paper, and Aunt Eva's recipe for jelly donuts. So all the things they had been missing all Hanukkah long were finally found. So on the 9th night in their new home, Max and Rachel and their new friends talked and laughed, ate and played games, sang and danced by the light of many candles. It was nice, really, really nice. And best of all, it felt exactly like Hanukkah. Finally, they get the Hanukkah they've been working towards. What a fun celebration. On this page, there's a little bit about the holiday of Hanukkah and its traditions, and how you could create your own shamash night. Well, I thought that was just a lovely book about the spirit of community and how holidays can often bring people together. I feel sad that these kids didn't have what they usually have on Hanukkah, but they did a great job, and their neighbors did a great job creating new ways to incorporate all the themes of Hanukkah into their celebration. And I thought, what a lovely book. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thanks for reading with me. Have a terrific day. See you soon.